This episode is brought to you by HelloFresh. Go to HelloFresh.com/CAGcast90 and use code CAGcast90 to get $90 off, including free shipping.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CAGcast episode number 660. I'm your host, GBD, here in Long Island, New York. And as always, we're joined by the man without the Xbox Series X, Wombat.
That's mean.
Sorry.
That was mean. I mean, I
It's
guess
true,
we'll talk
though.
about that later. It is true. I do not have one.
One
But
of
I
these,
have other things.
One of these things is not like the other. One of these things is doing their own thing.
Well, I'm doing an old thing.
You're doing it?
I'm doing it. doing it, and doing it well.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Shipwreck, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
I saw there was
Better
some
than I was
Japanese.
yesterday.
What's that?
I'm doing better than I was yesterday when I did not have an Xbox.
Were you really that worried that you
No,
weren't?
I was not.
Right.
I was not very worried.
Ship Wombat's very worried, I know.
It wasn't worried. It was more annoyed.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
fine. Shipwreck,
Yep.
I saw you had Japanese on your shirt, but I didn't get to I only saw the top. Oh, Frogger. We've seen this one before.
We've seen this one before.
Got it. Okay.
It says, it might say Frogger on it.
It says Whitey.
I'm fine with that too.
They're both true.
Yeah.
So yes, we're here. We are. It's console launch week. Next gen is here finally. Finally.
It's very exciting.
So I got my Xbox yesterday. We'll talk about it later in the show, I guess. Shipwreck got his today. Wombat's gonna get his at some point.
According to Amazon, by 12/31.
Oh, that's the update?
No, that's what the email said. Don't
I
you
mean, that's the
follow
latest update.
news?
That's the latest update. It's 12.
Yeah.
Did
by
you get the
12.
second email where they demanded you tell them to still send you one?
Who did what?
You have
now?
to click on a link to confirm that you still want it.
Amazon sent me a second email because I have one through Amazon as well.
No, they didn't send me. At least I'm not aware of it because it's not tied to my email address. So now I have to ask the other person in my house.
I would suggest you ask the other person because if you don't respond by, I think it was December 10th, they will just cancel your order.
Wonderful.
You better check your emails.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you may not have an Xbox in the near future.
You know what? Whatever. It'll work itself out eventually.
Well,
That's the spirit.
Yeah. And if
We'll
that
see
means
what
I never have one, then whatever.
never? We're at never already?
Maybe I get the Xbox Series X1X or whatever they're going to call the upgraded version.
All I got to know, I don't really care about that. Xbox shit, it's boring. PlayStation 5 is boring. I want to know about how it went down on the camping trip after Election Day and how the...
It's a good, I want to say it's not a bad story, but it also might be a little anticlimactic for you. So yes, I went camping over the weekend, Saturday night, in Alpine, New Jersey, which, if you're not aware, is the home of one of the largest Boy Scout camping grounds on the eastern seaboard. It's also one of the most expensive places to live in the United States. If you're looking for a fun time, go to Zillow.com and type in Alpine, New Jersey. Not YouTube, but like our listeners, if they want to look and be like, who needs a house that's $35 million? I have no idea.
But wait a minute. The Boy Scouts have their own camping grounds?
Yeah. So apparently,
In this
is
place where the real estate is got $35 million.
I was going to get to that.
It
So
sounds
this
like
is the
one of those,
story-
like Royal Caribbean cruises where they take you to Jamaica, but like some island off of Jamaica, but they own the island.
Yeah. It basically some millionaire. I don't know how long ago. I think it was like 80 years ago.
Okay.
When he died, left his land to the Boy Scouts.
That makes sense.
In Alpine, New Jersey.
Okay.
So whilst all around are still all of these mansions, this one section of land was carved out for the Boy Scouts in this area. It's literally right on the Hudson River.
Why wouldn't they sell that?
The Boy Scout, because they have they may not be able to be perfectly honest. It may be like stipulated in
Yeah,
this,
it could
like,
be. Yeah.
it's
Some
got to
blood
be
contract.
used. Mm-hmm. So, and it's really nice too. It has all these like play areas and like a big pirate ship the kids can play on, and what looks like an abandoned mine shaft for the kids to play in. It's very
Skip
interesting.
to the MAGA tears, please.
Okay,
I know.
so
I'm just joking, by the way. No, people,
I-
calm
I-
down.
I know. So I was at the table when I got the text. I was sitting at a picnic table, and I got the text from my wife saying that Joe Biden is our new president elect.
They called
And
it. Somebody called
and I
it.
just said it out loud, like
Right.
involuntarily.
Right.
Biden won. And I was lucky because the three parents I was sitting with at that table at that time,
Right.
out of the like 8 that were there, were like, yes.
Oh.
So yeah. Yeah.
They couldn't
Now, I
hide
will
it.
say-
Just like you couldn't stop saying it when you read it, they couldn't help but elate.
Exactly. So, it was definitely like I was shocked, but it was probably like 50-50.
Okay. Well, that sounds about
Yeah.
right.
50-50. Yeah, exactly.
With
It's a pretty normal demographic. Matches the country. So it was about 50-50. It wasn't too crazy.
Right.
It didn't really come up after I said it.
Sure.
At the
Yeah.
table.
No, we need to talk about it again. Okay.
I'm like, okay, I know you guys are all okay with it. I'm moving on.
Right. Right. We got it. We all know. We don't need to speak about it again until we all are home.
Exactly. Now let's tell some ghost stories. And second year in a row, I won best ghost story. Woo.
Was it about the election?
No, it was about the dead bride.
Right.
Yeah,
Sounds scary.
I believe the story is actually called The Bride. So
Wow. Did you look
Mhm.
up a story ahead of time?
I did look up ghost stories, and
I would
couldn't,
have.
I couldn't find one that I liked, so I told an older one that I knew,
Oh, okay.
but they had never heard before.
Right.
And then I twisted around a little bit to make it sound to make it sound personal. Like I talk about like things like, oh, well, my grandfather used to live here. And the funny thing is the next day the scout leader was like, I know it was a story, but did your grandfather really live? And I'm like, no.
Did you work at any like Mac Weldon ads or anything into the story?
Of course I did. Of course I did. Yeah.
And the ghost said, use coupon code CAGcast. No, I didn't do that.
It's
All right.
CAGcast 90 for $90 off, including free shipping.
You had to do it, Chip.
It's all right. It's funny.
Right.
But yeah, no, it was a nice time. We made it there and back. I made it home from New Jersey on Sunday morning in like 45 minutes, which was pretty ridiculous. So I couldn't complain too much about that.
Right.
And it was a lot of uphill walking.
Right.
So my legs were useless by the time I got home.
Nice. Good.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
getting ready for ping pong.
We went on our first night hike, like the Boy Scouts did that. We went on a night hike.
Yeah.
But no flashlights.
Right.
Yeah. It was about, you could train your eyes to see in the dark. For adjusting your eyes in the dark. I'm like, whatever.
Anybody hit you with a sack of bars of soap during that?
No,
hike?
but one of the scout leaders brought a ghillie suit and hid in the bushes. So when the kids walked past, he jumped out and was like, ah!
Were you a Boy Scout?
Me? No.
Why is this happening?
Why did Elliot become a Boy Scout?
Yes.
Because we were looking for something for him to do after school, like an extracurricular activity, because he didn't have any,
Right.
and at the time at least,
Okay.
and didn't really want to do any sports because it's
Right.
just not his thing. And I'm
Okay.
like, well, you should be doing something at least outdoors.
Right. What a good dad. Because
And he had
that's a lot of dad involvement, Boy Scouts. I'm
Yes,
pretty
it
sure.
is. I went to an event this afternoon, so yeah, I know all about dad scout involvement.
Yeah. So wow. All right. I thought
Yeah.
look at that.
Yeah.
Now we all know.
Yep.
King Dad.
King Dad, that's me. King of the dads.
Oh, let me tell you just a very quick story since we're talking about the election results without talking about the election results. There's one person in my town who puts up Republican signs every election. Right when we moved, I guess he put up like a Romney bumper sticker on a telephone pole that's like by his house, but like not his house, obviously, because it's a telephone pole, and I guess after Trump won, he put up a sign on his house that said "Thank you, God" the next morning, just like a big banner across the garage. Thank you, God. People are like, didn't do anything. It's his house. You can put up any sign you want. What are you gonna do? But people were like, of course, like not too excited about that. The day of on the election day, or the day before election day, this time, he put up a sign that said, "Please vote Trump Pence for the safety of our country," or something, to keep our country safe. And he put it up across the street from his house on a telephone pole, so not on his not on his property at all. Big sign right on like a public road, like a decent thoroughfare. So he was too afraid, I think, to put it up on his house. That sign lasted like 8 hours. It was taken down pretty quickly. I don't know. A high school kid, I'm sure, took it down. The first kid to walk by it on the way home from school, I'm sure, took it down. Anyway, there's a new sign that just went up on his house like 2 days ago. And I drove by it and I saw it out of the corner of my eye. And I was like, oh my God, what could that say? And I saw it was blue. So I was like, I can't even imagine like what's happening. So I drove home and I parked the car and I went upstairs. I told Mrs. Chibi, and she's like, you got to go walk over there and see what the sign says right now. So I did. And it was a sign that said, like, hey, a veteran lives here. It's like, don't forget to honor your veterans. Like, he's just like pretending like we forgot about all the other signs. Just like, hey, what about this? You know, a lot of people were putting up signs. I don't know. This another sign here, veteran. What about that? And I'm just like, oh, I don't know. But it's fine. It's much better than seeing "Thank you, God" again. I'm very glad he didn't bust that sign out again. That's all I got to say. All right. How about some show feedback?
Oh yeah, I forgot what we were doing.
So we can get to the main part of the show, gloating about our new Xboxes to Wombat.
Yeah. Eberg has to say, I've listened to every show, I've listened every week for well over a decade. But I swear that if Cheapy and Wombat talk about The Vow or Seduced one more time, I will turn it off and never look back.
Dude, fucking season finale of Seduced.
Anyway,
buckle
another
up.
great show. Thanks for all you do. Yes. So the season finale of Seduced was Sunday. Cheapy and I know, both watched it. We will talk about it in a little bit. But I will say this, Eberg. You could skip over it if you need to. And it'll probably be the last time we talk about it for quite some time because the seasons are over.
Show's over, and I don't know what they could possibly make. There's no more show left.
Yeah, well, we could get to that because apparently there is.
I know, but they can't. It's like, come on already.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
I took this from the Discord chat. It's actually a conversation.
Okay.
So Call Me Steam said, I'm going to have big problems if Wombat talks shit about Yakuza. I've always hated games with long cutscenes, but going in knowing Yakuza games have them and that they're top-tier soap operas, it's been wonderful. Think of it as watching very short sitcoms that also have interactive elements. And then DC16 said, doesn't Wombat read comic books? Complaining about soap opera storytelling in a format in a medium is hilarious.
Wombat doesn't appreciate the Japanese like silliness, I think.
Yeah, my son's here and he has no clothes on.
He has no clothes on.
That's probably a service violation.
You're on Twitch. Go away.
It's probably not allowed. I hope you don't get me banned. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, jeez, Louise.
What's going on over there? It's 9:15. Doesn't he have school?
I don't
tomorrow?
know, and I don't know how he was allowed here. You could tell he was supposed to be in bed because he was dressed for it. And Garzilla closes the conversation by Wombat is very curmudgeonly as of late. And now we know why.
Right. Oh my God. It's like the mom from Queen's Gambit.
We haven't gotten that far yet. What the hell was that?
Wombat, like I was saying, Wombat doesn't appreciate the weird Japanese storytelling. He just wants to
Japan is
punch
stupid,
people in
and
the
everyone
face.
who likes Japan is stupid.
Exactly.
Full of stupid people for stupidness, and their food is bad, and they're a bunch of fish bulbs.
Fish.
Yeah, it's a Simpsons joke.
Right. I'm sure maybe you can skip the cutscenes. I don't know.
I don't know.
Whatever.
You can.
I think you can, but
yeah.
and Japan's fine. I
what
think
that would
people
get
know
you,
that was jokes, right? People know that was jokes.
Right.
I'm installing Yakuza right now on my Xbox
Mhm.
Series X,
Rub it in.
so I can get all those extra good cutscenes now. I guess is that
So
what
good.
they make the cutscenes better?
So good.
Mm-hmm.
So much sillier now.
Oh, it's super silly. Like it's so good. It's so good.
Really?
Yeah, you might hate it, but like it is so ridiculous. Like
I don't think I would hate it because I know what it's about and I could get into that.
you might like it. You might. I think.
Is it
Why
like
don't
a 40-hour game?
If I tell you what side do I need to tell you, north or south of that, to get
I'd
you to
like
play it?
15 hours. 12 to 15 or 10 to 15.
It's around 12 to 15 to 70 hours. uh,
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could happen. It's not like a lot of stuff to play.
yeah, it's not like you have a whole bunch of other stuff, and this one's at least one that's like, hey, this is kind of a new next gen game.
I did just get the Overcooked All You Can Eat edition review code,
Oh, okay, cool.
which is all the Overcooks in glorious 4K, just what you needed.
I thought there was only 2.
That's all of them.
Okay, you made it sound like there was 17.
That's your inference.
My interpretation.
There's some new content there as well. I haven't played it, but are we at Watch This, bitches?
I believe we are. Now, did you put the top 3 or did you only put the top 3 things on here? Is that fourth one not you, or is that you too?
Who's you? Me?
You, yeah. You, Cheapy, you.
What's going on?
I did not watch Ted Lasso. If that you
I
just
just- I
asked
watched
me
that.
that.
I'm no, because I
what's the
feel like
secrecy?
this is a big moment in CAGcast history, and it needs
Oh.
to be documented
Oh,
that the 3 things you have listed
right.
are the 3 things that I also watched.
They are.
I know. Like you and I have
Also,
watched the same things.
I watched none of these 3 things.
Yeah.
Well, we know that.
But
Yeah.
I don't think there's ever been another episode where you and I were both like our watch this lists were identical.
And our menstrual cycles are now.
And then
perfectly
they're
in sync.
synced up. You know. Yep. No bears. Watch out for bears.
Queen's Gambit on Netflix.
I'm up to episode 4.
I think that's where we're about at as well.
Yeah. We just watched that one over dinner.
I like movies and TV shows about chess prodigies. I don't think I've ever seen one that I didn't like. I'm trying to think.
Searching for Bobby Fischer's a good movie.
Great movie. Fresh. Have you seen the movie Fresh?
I have not.
Fantastic movie with Samuel L. Jackson. Shipwreck just rolled his eyes, I feel. Or you're thinking. I couldn't tell
I'm
if you rolled
thinking
your...
that was my thinking if
Okay.
I've ever seen another chess movie before, or chess property.
Does he play chess in Little Man Tate, or there's no chess in that one?
Nah, I don't think so. Or if there is, it's not a big part of it. But
Mhm.
Fresh is fantastic. I would it's rated R, not for kids. But that's a fantastic movie.
Isn't there another one about the Disney one about the girl from Africa?
I'm not sure.
Okay, I believe that is one also.
Well, there's 2 chess things that I could think. I can't think of any more chess things, but I like those chess things a lot, and I like Queen's Gambit a lot too.
Mhm.
This
Yeah,
is-
but I mean yes, it's about chess, but it's sort of about other things too.
Like what?
Like this woman, this girl, and her life,
Yes.
and her tragic story, and how she finds solace in chess outside of the tragedy that is the rest of her life.
Right.
Oh yeah, that.
But it's somehow not depressing.
It isn't.
Not yet, anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like we're headed for a fall. That's thing number 1, but it is surprisingly not depressing.
Right.
And there are people in it that are surprisingly not dirt bags.
Right. You keep waiting for someone to shove a finger in her butt or something.
Yeah,
And it
exactly.
just doesn't happen.
Like
Spoiler.
spoiler alert for Queen's Gambit, but you and I were both thinking something was like the janitor was
Something. I was just
something.
waiting for just something. But it could we've only seen so little, I feel. So
well, I think we're past the janitor. I think it's safe to rule him out as
he
a
comes
D-bag.
back for a little
I don't think so.
cleaning. Cleaning. He's got to clean out the pipes.
Yeah.
This is getting gross, even for me.
It's Tiger GD in the chat shows, how does she learn chess without a finger in her butt?
No wonder why I'm no good at chess.
Exactly. You gotta. Have
Anyway,
the
the whole the series is filmed like very cinematically. Like I really enjoy the artistic cinematography, and the performances
you
are really good.
Did you see "Won't You Be My Neighbor," the Tom Hanks,
No.
Mr. Rogers movie?
I haven't watched any of the Mr. Rogers things
Oh,
except for the actual show.
the documentary's better than the movie,
Right.
but the movie with Tom Hanks, the director of that movie is the adoptive mom in Queen's Gambit.
Okay.
Yeah,
She's
just
good.
a little trivia.
She's very good in that.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, Queen's Gambit, very good. I would highly recommend that. Shipwreck doesn't have Netflix. You're off the hook. Again. No, I think that's the true reason why.
It's
Shipwreck
really a
canceled
perfect
Netflix.
plan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I'll finish that out. I mean, I'm halfway through. There's no reason why I wouldn't.
Okay. So number 2 thing that Wombat and I shared this week was the Seduced finale.
Which we won't go into too much detail on because we probably overtalked it.
Sure.
But yes, we finished Seduced. That documentary is much better than The Vow. If you really want to know what happened,
You got to watch them both, though. Really.
Yeah,
So
you do.
Just watch
you
them
do
both.
have to watch them both. But that guy was a complete dirtbag,
Right,
and now we know why he was sentenced to 150.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. So we don't need to say anything else about
Nope.
it. It's just like you're watching this and like, yeah, this guy should be in jail
Forever.
forever. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. Let's move on. The third thing we watched was this episode 2 of The Mandalorian, season 2, which I guess you would classify.
I liked it.
It's fine. This is what you call a filler episode, I believe. Where
Yeah, it was definitely a filler episode. I don't disagree. From the director of Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Right.
Which was pretty obvious.
It's got. I mean, look. It looks. One thing you got to say about The Mandalorian is that each episode looks like a short movie in terms of the production value and everything.
And the talent behind the camera, they're doing it.
They're getting it. They're getting it right. It's not a surprise. My problem with The Mandalorian is like 20% of it is just nonsense. Like, doesn't make any sense. Like, a child would think his way around the situation better than the Mandalorian or the other characters. Only 20% of the time. 80% of the time it's fine and engrossing and you're totally into it. But then like some weird shit happens. You're like, what? Why? Why is he like saying he's going to go to sleep now, even though when he wakes up, the temperatures will be critical and they'll all be dead, but he's just going to worry about that later? Why? Why is he worried about going to sleep now? Things like that. But I'm still going to watch it every week. So get ready, Ship.
I will. I'm going to watch that as well. I just
do you find that to be true as well, like, or do you just watch The Mandalorian and just think, well, you turn the brain off? Or
I turn my brain off.
It's mainly a turn the brain off,
Right.
but I think yes, he does some really dumb stuff sometimes, but I don't know if that's just his. I've accepted that's his character.
You have to see this one. It's really
He's a bounty hunter with a heart of gold.
Right.
Kind of.
But there's a point. There's 2 parts in this episode where he's very concerned about getting enough sleep to the point where it would put everybody in danger.
Good for him.
Like, or he just one point, maybe one time, and the other time he was just asking about if somebody got sleep or he was, I don't know. Anyway, I'm still gonna watch it.
Maybe it's part of his code. He needs to get his.
He needs his 8 hours.
Yeah.
It's part of mine.
He literally said, like, okay, as it gets later, it's going to get colder and we're going to die, but I'm going to go to sleep now and worry about that. And then
maybe he has like sleep issues and the helmet has one of those things in it that helps him breathe.
Oh, like he has sleep apnea. What do you call it? CPAP? CPAP?
Yeah,
machine?
that's it. A CPAP machine in the helmet.
It's in the helmet. Yeah, that's why he doesn't take it off.
That's why he doesn't take it off.
Oh my God. 2 guys in my fraternity have those CPAP machines.
Okay.
And they came over. I remember we had they got together when I was in Manhattan for the for a fantasy football draft. Fucking CPAP machines going off. Anyway, what's Ted Lasso? That must be a Shipwreck special.
It is. It's the Jason Sudeikis.
Yeah. Jason Sudeikis, who kind of looks like you, Ship.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's a compliment. He is married to Olivia Wilde.
Yeah, I'm married to Mrs. Shipwreck, so it's going good for both of us.
Both of us. There you go. Nice answer.
It's the Apple Plus. Is that their service?
Mm-hmm.
It's one of their exclusives. Apple One, that service finally launched, and I was waiting for
Okay,
that to
right. I
sign up.
remember that.
So it is essentially, so far we're 2-3 episodes in. It's 10 episodes long. It's essentially Major League, but with soccer.
Ma-
So
Oh, it
Soccer
is?
league.
yeah, it's basically Major League with soccer,
Oh,
but a little bit more heartwarming. But it's still very similar in that's the scope of the show.
how many episodes do I need to wait to see somebody get hit in the balls?
That might happen episode 1. I can't
Okay,
remember
good. I didn't want to
for
wait
sure.
too long for that. All right, we know what we're getting into. All right, that's fine. Look, hey, everybody enjoys a nice football to the groin.
It's
Well, football in
it's
the
quite
groin
good.
does have a football in the groin.
Indeed.
I flipped around on Apple Plus. I'm like, yeah, this and Disney Plus. This is my sphere right here of shows. Like the Netflix stuff is not my thing.
I hear you. It's fair enough. All right, should we move on to? That's it for Watch This, bitches.
Yep.
Let's move on to some shopping news. We were talking about, I think we talked about it last week or the week before, about if retailers are going to be able to ship these consoles on time or not. Like what's happening? And we know from Wombat's situation, the answer is no. So I did a Twitter poll to see what the situation was. I asked if people were expecting to get their consoles on time, and it looked like about half the people were expecting to get it on time, which is not good. It's not a good percentage, I would say, for a launch of a product.
I demand a recount. Manual recount.
I haven't looked at it today, so that could be the poll could be off. I admit that I dropped the ball there. There might be fraud. There might be a little fraud. But regardless, and looking through my statistics, my affiliate statistics, I can see that looks about accurate, actually, that percentage. So that's not great, but it is what it is, I guess. I don't know. In COVID
I didn't get
times,
one.
I guess.
Amazon just really seems to be the big offender.
Oh,
Everybody
is that
else-
true?
From what I see,
Yeah,
everybody
I
else
mean,
seems
they
to be
seem to be the
delivering.
only ones that told people they were going to get them, and then literally the last minute, were like, "No, you're not."
That was the worst part about the Amazon one, really.
Yeah,
Like,
it wasn't that they didn't have it. If I had pre-ordered it on the day I did, that was whatever it was, September 22nd, the day that pre-orders went live.
Right.
And then like a week later, they were like, we're not going to be able to do this. Or even 2 weeks later, we're not going to be able, whatever like a reasonable time frame is.
Right.
But to wait until 8:00 the day before launch to be like, we're not going to be able to ship you anything. That's kind of crappy.
yeah, I
And
could have seen even a week before launch, because maybe they were holding out, like, oh, maybe this will come in. But when you're that short,
Right.
and they were heavily short. It had to be double. They probably took in double what they got. And there really should be, I mean, I don't know. It shouldn't be legal, to be honest, but whatever.
Well,
why shouldn't it be legal?
Because it's fraud.
what do you mean it's fraud?
They didn't take your money.
No, they didn't take my money, but they took my order.
They took your dreams and hopes.
They took
Xbox
my
is
order saying
supposed
that I
to-
would have a console on launch day when I ordered it.
They did?
Yeah. That's what
They
the
did?
Amazon thing was. Order now for launch day for pre-orders.
Well, it's a launch day
For
pre-order.
launch day for pre-orders? Is that what the word
Right.
I
was?
don't know.
It was the pre-order launch day.
Yeah.
You know, it was the first day of
I would be
pre-orders.
very surprised if there was anything in that agreement that guaranteed you a console on
know.
launch.
I'm pretty
It's
sure
just-
Amazon knows what they're doing when they're
I'm
selling
sure they
this
know
stuff.
what they're doing, but it's just frustrating.
I hear you.
That they did it and I got screwed, basically. You know.
Don't you
That's
feel like
annoying.
the PlayStation situation is going to be worse? I feel like
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah,
I doubt it.
you think it's going to be exactly the same,
Yeah.
No, I think it might be
better.
better. They might have known how many quantities of PlayStation they were getting. I don't
Why?
know though.
You,
I don't
just
know.
from like anecdotal
Yeah,
tweets
just
and
anecdotal.
stuff.
I don't have any inside info on
No,
that.
I mean
but
I know. But I figured.
I'm just guessing.
Right.
It can't be worse.
Right. I'll be able to
That's what you say today.
It could be worse. I mean, 50%, there's a lot of room there. Should know better by tomorrow or tonight. I have to see. I have to look at
I don't
my
have a
stats.
PS5 ordered through Amazon, I don't think. So
I ordered one from Target for a contest winner, and it shipped out, and I think they're getting it Thursday. Tomorrow? 13th? I don't know.
from Target, maybe. Target's usually at best a day after when stuff comes out.
Could be a day after, yeah. I think the 13th, maybe it said? Maybe. It's
Yeah,
not. It's not going to my house, so it's like I don't really care. It's off. Here's the tracking number. I have to pay for it. Thank you.
I have a PS5 to pick up at Walmart tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes.
I could not bring myself to order one because I don't know that I could stand looking at it, to be honest. I mean, I feel like if I don't know. Obviously, I'm going to get one before they redesign it. Maybe they have a black one at least. At least a black one would blend in better, I feel. I have a hard time pulling the trigger on that. I know eventually I'm going to have to, but it looks like I won't be able to for a minute, so won't have to worry about it. All right, Wombat.
Oh, we're up to this now?
All right, Wombat.
All right, I'm still here. You know what else I'm here to talk about?
No.
HelloFresh.
Hey now.
Hey. Now, we all use HelloFresh. By all of us, I mean the three people that you're staring at.
I'm eating it right now.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the best. And let me tell you why it's the best. HelloFresh offers convenient, no-contract delivery to your doorstep for easy home cooking with the family. Because it's easy. It's stress-free. The recipes are easy to follow with simple steps and pictures to guide you along the way. It cuts out stressful meal planning and grocery store trips. And it's a great value. You could save upwards of 40% when you use HelloFresh versus shopping at the grocery store. Feeding the whole family has never been easier. With lower prices for larger box sizes, more servings means more savings. It's delicious and nutritious. It delivers fresh, high-quality, pre-portioned ingredients so you can make meals that are delicious and nutritious. Over 90% of their ingredients are sourced directly from growers to ensure peak flavor and ripeness. HelloFresh offers more than 20 chef-curated delicious options every week to break you out of your recipe rut. Try new things, make nights special. There's something everyone will enjoy, including 20-minute meals, low-calorie, vegetarian, family-friendly, and more. It's flexible for your lifestyle. You could change your delivery days or meal preferences or skip a week at any time right through the app. It's super easy. I do it all the time. And you can keep your fridge stocked if you want to add extra meals or quick meals like breakfast on the go or 10-minute lunches, even desserts. HelloFresh is also committed to donating meals to those in need. So far in 2020, they've donated 3.5 million meals. That was a 3.5 million years. That's a long time.
A lot of meal years.
I would use HelloFresh for 3.5 million years if given the opportunity.
I have been, I feel like.
I know. Yeah, I know. It's the best. I mean, it really is. I don't know. I look at things and I'm like, yeah, but is this better than creamy, dreamy cavatappi? No.
I made the bacon cavatappi.
Oh, the bacon orecchiette.
No, that one. Yeah.
Yeah, the bacon orecchiette. How was it?
So good. You know what's really good? Bacon.
What?
Bacon is
I
very
like
good.
a new one that they have, one of the more recent ones, because they've added a whole bunch of new recipes. The buttered shrimp rolls. Have you had that?
I have not had that.
Next time it's there, I highly recommend it. Not only is it good because it's bread and there's butter, that's always a good. That
I'm
always
not
works.
using HelloFresh to order bread and butter personally, but
they give you like shrimp out the wazoo, like tons of shrimp.
I usually order any shrimp dish that they have. I order any tilapia dish they have. I order.
The barramundi is delicious. I always
barramundi,
recommend
that also. But I think this week we had the tilapia.
Tilapia, barramundi, shrimp.
These are all made up words.
salmon, lots of good fresh
The
seafood.
faluli I had, it was really good. The mama tufi.
Yeah,
the
I never
best.
really ate seafood, as much seafood as I do until we started using HelloFresh, and I'm glad we do. You can get your HelloFresh. You could go to hellofresh.com/CAGcast90 and use code CAGcast90 to get $90 off, including free shipping. That's hellofresh.com/CAGcast90 and use code CAGcast90 to get $90 off, including free shipping.
Nice. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, new releases.
Yes. Wombat, I know that you got a code for one of these. I'm interested to hear if you've played it or not.
Yes, I got a code for Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Okay.
I also got a code for Assassin's Creed Valhalla,
Yeah,
but I bought it from Best Buy.
mine was procured, was given to me by the fine folks at Ubisoft.
By a real live Viking.
By a real live Viking came to my house and gave me one. I have had the game since Friday of last week, and yeah,
You're 80 hours in.
I'm about, I want to say 15
Solid.
to 20 hours in, somewhere in that range. I love it. I mean, I'll just go right off the top and say, I love it, but I'm a big Assassin's Creed guy. I guess that's a good caveat too. If you liked Origins and you liked Odyssey, you're not going to be upset with Valhalla.
What are the quality of life improvements that I can expect to enjoy once I dive
That's
in?
one of the things I think about this game that I think is really exciting, at least to a guy like me that's always complaining about quality of life adjustments in games. So obviously, it's an open world single player game. You could pause at any time. You can save at pretty much any time. So those are always nice things. I have it on the Xbox One for those who are asking. You can pause at any time. You can save at any time. Those are great things. And it sounds silly to say, but I feel like I haven't played a game like that in a long time. It also has 3 different toggles for difficulties, for 3 different types of difficulties. And each one of those has 3 settings each. So there's your standard combat difficulty. And you could set that to, easy, medium, or hard. There may actually be a 4th one, so don't quote me on 3 choices only. But it's your basic combat, easy, medium, hard. There's also stealth, and you could set the stealth difficulty to easy, medium, or hard.
Can you set it to none?
Yeah, basically. So let's say you want to
I guess if you set it low enough, it's sort
Right.
of like
Yeah, and then there's also an exploration difficulty where there are either some icons on the map, no icons on the map,
Oh, I
Or-
see.
or icons to let you know where, basically everything is.
I was
Right.
picturing more that the difficulty was like, here's a feather. It's either up on top of this building or we just left it down here on the ground for you.
No. It's like say you're collecting a feather. It's like either when you go to ping it, will show you where the feather is, and you can tag the
right.
waypoint.
They had that in the
Right.
last
No,
one,
I
right?
get
You can
it.
choose.
I don't think so. They may have.
They
but
had. I remember you could, if you were doing a quest, you could either have it just say, "All right, just go right here and mark it on the map,"
yes,
or
they
they
did
would
it have
say,
an exploration or
right.
yeah.
It would say like,
So
"Oh, it's in a mountain. There's water
So there's
nearby."
a little bit more nuance, I think now. The stealth one again. So let's say you're a guy who wants to just beat up guys, but you don't want the fighting to be easy, but you don't want it to deal with the stealth nonsense. You could basically turn stealth off and go to town beating the crap out of people. So I like that. I think those are good quality of life, making a game play the way you want to play it, which I think is unusual these days. So I appreciated that for what it was. And it was something I noticed right when I started the game. Haven't even talked about playing the game yet, which is kind of crazy.
Right.
But it was really, it was really kind of great.
What's going on over there?
I'm
you
sorry, I
looking
lost my
at?
train of thought. It's a big open world game. It's a lot of fun. It is a bit of a slow start. For a game where you kind of know what you're doing from the outset, if you played the last 2, they kind of go through a lot of the motions, and it does take a little bit of time to get there.
Right. That's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, if you're still in Norway, you're probably like, I get it. When can I get to the point? Yeah. But once you get there, the game really does open up and it feels really cool. And I enjoy the world that I'm in, and the fighting is very visceral. It does feel good when you hit someone with your different weapons. It's fun to play around with different weapon combinations. There is not as much gear as there was in Odyssey. You're not going to be unlocking stuff and finding stuff in every nook and cranny.
Right.
You're going things you find are fewer and far between, but the stuff you have you hold on to
That's
and you
better.
upgrade it, and upgrading your gear changes its appearance. So it's when you find something you kind of want to you if you find a weapon you like, you can invest in that weapon essentially and make it like it could either be your weapon for the whole game, or you could say, okay, well now I want to invest in these other in this weapon, or and play around with different combinations and really see what suits you. Same thing with the armor. So it's a similar situation, but there is the different pieces of armor, so you can mix and match the pants and the helmet and the shirts and all that kind of fun stuff. So it does all that. It's really good. I'm excited to play more of it. Even played a little bit before we did the show. I'm sort of like addicted to it.
Excited for that Series X upgrade?
Yes, and I'm excited for that Series X upgrade. Very much so.
I don't like how when you hit the guy like with a heavy attack and you kill him, he goes flying across the screen. It seems a little like too much for Assassin's Creed. I feel like, did you notice that at all? Like when you
What?
when you kill an enemy, he shoots back like 6 feet, and sometimes comically so. Like if your back is to like a ledge, he'll like shoot up the ledge. It's like kind
No,
of janky
I don't
in
know.
that way.
I don't know if I
You
saw
didn't
what you
notice
saw.
that? That could be
Yeah.
Series X thing. I don't know. It seems like they're trying to make it a little more arcadey in that way, or maybe that they think that that's what makes the combat more visceral. If you knock the guys,
Oh, and Striker asked if I'm playing as the lady or the man. I'm actually playing as the third option,
me
which is
too.
letting the animus decide who I am.
Yes, I let my anus decide.
Yeah, and right now I'm playing as the lady.
Strictly, you haven't switched to the man yet,
I have not. I did switch to the man just to see what the man looks like.
but
This
it
one
didn't
is
switch
different,
you.
but it didn't switch me.
Got it.
And for those who are unaware, you can
Shipwreck looks
actually
so
switch
confused
your
right now.
gender at any time during the game.
Yeah, I am, I don't know, maybe 3 4 Assassin's Creed back at this point.
Right. Well, because what
So-
happened, I think what happened with the last one was, they have to record a whole, the story with the woman and the story with the man character. And I think they realized that maybe people want to experience both of them and not choose. And they want to figure out a way that it makes sort of sense. I don't think they've really done that per se, but they say, hey, okay, you have an option. We'll choose whichever sex we think is better in this for this particular story element. I don't know.
Do whatever you want.
Right. It's
Yeah.
I don't know. I was
What's
surprised.
going on? I saw that there was a screenshot of somebody riding a giant wolf.
That would be my screenshot of me riding a giant wolf. Somebody, what a jerk!
Right.
That is not the default mount.
Why is that a mount in Assassin's Creed? I feel like I've missed a lot here where we are now have mythical creatures in Assassin's Creed.
Yes, I would say in Odyssey. Actually, no, I think in Origins also they sort of added sort of blending myth and reality with these areas that are ripe for mixing myth and reality.
Right. I think maybe with DLC for the first one, the first time.
And well, even in the game, well, you don't just get the wolf. You have to. That's DLC. So
Right.
the wolf is not default.
Oh, you have the fancy edition? Is
I
that
have
what
the
you're
fancy
saying?
edition that has the
Oh,
wolf.
shit. They gave you the $100 edition
They may have.
of their code that has no value?
Yeah. So, and anyway, I was gonna say because Origins was in ancient Egypt, which again, it's sort of ripe for blending that fantasy with fact with all of the Egyptian gods. Same thing with Odyssey in Greece, in ancient Greece. It sort of lends itself to that ideal. So when you get to something like the Nordic myths, your Thors and Lokis, not that they're there, but your Odins, it lends itself to including it in a way that doesn't feel forced.
and this, it's the same fucking game over and over again. So they got to do something to keep it fresh. Like,
Yeah.
Mrs. Chibi was not really that impressed with the whole Nordic vibe. I think coming off of Ghost of Tsushima, she's like, that game was quite a looker, and just like the art direction of that game, everything about the acting, she really liked the acting of that game, and she just thought that this Assassin's Creed game was very flat all around compared to Ghosts. And she
Well,
was
you're
just
not
like, I'm
actually.
outta
I
here.
think the snow is very impressive where you
It
are
is.
where
It
you
is.
are right now. But you haven't. You're not in the main section of the map yet.
The problem is they're going for like realism in terms of the environment in Assassin's Creed, and Ghosts were really going for how can we make environments look like something you would see in a movie. Everything's overdone. Like, it's okay, it's fall, there's leaves falling. It's just, let's make way too many leaves fall, and they're constantly falling, and the colors are way over the top. And so when you compare that with realism, it's not that interesting, I feel. And
I get
especially when you're
that.
looking at snow. The snow
Yeah.
is great, though. I gotta say, when you're walking through that snow, you can feel like, you don't
You feel like
it.
you're walking through snow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I agree with. I think. Again, I haven't played Ghost of Tsushima, so I don't have that comparison because I'm like digging this, and I haven't played a
Yeah.
game like this in a long time. I know we made this joke when Odyssey and Red Dead Redemption came out around the same time that, Odyssey takes what Red Dead Redemption was doing but made it fun. This sort of blends a little even more, like leans towards that sort of storytelling side of things that our Red Dead did, but still throws in maybe a little bit more combat and more fun combat than that style of game.
Right.
There's a lot going on in that you haven't hit yet. Like, there's the whole kingdoms thing
I haven't done
where
anything.
I'm making alliances now and I'm building my
That
kingdom.
sounds good.
And I'm building my my little town. But to do that, you have to raid churches and kill everybody in a church and steal their boxes. So, sorry, sir, I need your box. And then you hit him in the head with an axe.
Right.
Yeah. So,
I was wishing that this game has cross-platform progression, and it
does.
but not from console to PC, I don't believe.
no, just from console to
To
console.
console, which is like, if I'm Ubisoft, I still don't know how to say it. Ubisoft or Ubisoft?
That's right.
Ubisoft.
Ubi.
They're trying to sell this Ubisoft Plus.
Ubisoft.
Ubisoft Plus
Ubisoft.
thing on PC. I don't know. Fuck it. Ubisoft Plus on PC for $15 a month. A good way to pitch that would be, hey, if you have it on console already, this can supplement your gaming lifestyle by being able to play the same fucking game on console and PC.
Or maybe they could have cross game saves for all of their games that are the exact same thing, and you just pick up at that percentage in the game.
Yes.
Like if you're playing
Watch Dogs.
Assassin's Creed or Watch Dogs,
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
oh, it looks like you're about 60% through this game.
Unlock all this shit for me.
Yeah, just you already did all that. You're here.
But yeah.
You finished the last one? We'll start you like right here.
Right.
For someone who hasn't played the last 3, Ship, you sure are mouthy about them.
I'm not mouthy about it's the Norse stuff does nothing for me at all. Like
I really like that.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm happy
That's a
for
big.
you.
That's funny because that's the theme that I probably like that one more than the Egyptian one.
It's funny because he looks like a Viking.
Ship. Yes, I know. You think you'd be into it? All the characters look like you.
Exactly.
Characters don't have to look like me for me to enjoy it.
Really?
Yeah, I know, but
Not
the
like you.
characters
I
that look like
I like
you,
the Japanese games. Remember Wombat?
the characters that look like you get to hit in the face with an axe. Maybe
Hmm.
that's why I like the game so much.
That could be it. No, I really liked. I don't know, the first 5 Assassin's Creed games, maybe.
Right.
I liked when they had a coherent storyline that they were going for as an overarching thing.
It was
And
good. The
then-
last one was great, and it's time
Oh no,
for you to
I'm
play
sure it
now.
is, and
It's
I
time.
still have that one, and I do want to play that. I'll play that one long before I'll play this one.
Oh, boo! What
Why?
about the Series X? You need the 60 frames per second. You got to experience
don't
Assassin's
like-
Creed 60 frames per second.
Vikings do nothing. For
You get
me.
axes and you can throw axes when you unlock that
You're
skill.
describing the exact things that do nothing for me.
You can throw a javelin
Just
through a
pretend
guy.
pretend that you're Laura Croft. That's
Okay,
it.
do you have an
Your
iconic
bow, you got
pickaxe?
the axe, you're the same fucking thing.
Lots of bows and arrows.
Snow.
Lots of axes.
Decapitations,
Lots of decapitations.
screaming.
Lots of screaming. Lots of climbing of walls. Lots of collecting doodads.
What are you drinking there, Ship? I know somebody's going to ask. I'll just beat him to it.
I'm drinking a Mad Tree Phantom Forest.
That's a beer, right?
That is
Not
a beer.
like a evil spirit or something. It sounds like you're consuming a spirit. Is that what you're doing? No. All right. What else?
yeah.
That's Assassin's Creed. Obviously, I'm super early, and Wombat is early in the game.
Yeah,
I
we'll
think one
talk
of the
more about
turnoffs
it
for me
probably
too. Is
next-
just how long those games are.
Yeah. Well, that's sort of the other reason why I like them.
No, that's fine. Like if that's
Yeah.
what you're going to be invested in, but like
It's like, I could play
I have other ones.
15 minutes of Fortnite and then 3 hours of Assassin's Creed. And I'm good.
Right. Yeah, I would love to play that on PC and go back and forth from TV to PC. That'd be awesome.
Well, that is a
but
problem I don't have.
it would be I don't know. I got to talk to Ubisoft about their name, about their marketing strategy, everything.
I think
Wombat,
they're
I know
doing
you
just fine.
also got sent another code. For
Actually, I didn't get sent this code,
Ooh.
but I have been playing it because it's on Game Pass.
Oh.
okay. Well, good. At least you've been playing it. That's all that I care about.
Yeah. No, I did play a little bit of Planet Coaster last night. I did the tutorial last night in Planet Coaster.
Okay.
How is it on Xbox One?
It's okay. There's because there's a lot of toggles and things and setting up and it's Planet Coaster for those who are unaware. It's a theme park simulator. If you played Roller Coaster Tycoon back in the day, then you know what this game is essentially. You're building your theme park, you're setting prices, you're putting in a roller coaster or a whirly gig, and you're putting decorations and you're making people happy.
Mm-hmm. Very GPU intensive on the PC side.
Oh, is it? Interesting.
Yes, I had to buy. This is the game I had to upgrade my graphics card for to be able to play when it came out.
Well, I'm playing it on my Xbox, and I've not noticed any stuttering or issues with graphics or anything along those lines. My only complaint would be is that when I put down my first roller coaster, and they said don't forget to build a road to the entrance and the exit. They didn't say it had to be the specific queue roads. So I'm just building a road up to the entrance and nothing's happening because that's the first option. You have to scroll through 4 pages to get to the queue lines roads. And I didn't know I had to keep hitting the RB button 4 times to get that road the way it's supposed to go. And that was very annoying because it took me way too long to figure out without there being any guidance from the game. Yeah,
I
that
can
would
see
be
that. It's a difficult game to bring over to consoles, but it's on
Yeah.
Game Pass. I'm going to check it out on the Series X.
You should. I
how
mean,
it
again,
plays.
it's a Series X. There's a Series X version of it. It's on Game Pass. You might as well check it out. I mean, I'm sure if I got used to all the controls and what everything did and where everything goes, I'm sure I would like it very much. But I don't know how much time I want to put into that right now. But we'll see.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. I've of course been playing Yakuza Like a Dragon.
How's that?
That is very good. I've already talked about that. But,
How's that movie?
I'm about 8 hours into that movie.
A long
It
movie.
continues to keep me entertained. I like the turn-based combat system. I like the old RPG gear and party system that's in there. It's a good time. That is a good game.
Excellent.
I've also been playing the latest entry in the Paw Patrol series. That came out. So my
That's
kids
what's
are
really
both-
going to bring the listeners in.
Well, I don't care. The
Well,
listeners are
headline.
here anyways.
You listen to this Paw Patrol.
Yeah. People have kids. They like to hear whether stuff is like worth buying or
Sure.
not. Some of them do. Some of them hate when I talk about this stuff. But
What are you going to do?
What are you gonna do? I'm gonna talk about Paw Patrol Mighty Pups Save Adventure Bay.
Good name.
It is if you're a Paw Patrol fan.
Mm.
Mighty Pups. If you
Mighty
don't know.
Pups. So wait, now the Paw Patrol, are the Mighty Pups part of the Paw Patrol, or are the Mighty Pups a different group outside of the Paw Patrol?
No, you see what happens is this is canon from the cartoon, of course, that it's now into the video game. Is a meteorite crashes into Adventure Bay, and it gives the Paw Patrol superpowers.
Ah.
So they don't need jetpacks anymore.
No, they get all of the standard DC superhero superpowers. There's a Green Lantern one. There's the Flash, Superman. I don't know, whoever the ice person is in DC.
Right.
Iceman,
Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze,
But it's a good guy.
Yeah.
Is there a good ice guy in DC?
A good ice guy? There's got to be.
I don't know.
I
You're supposed to know that one. But
I mean, Killer Frost, it depends on what you're reading. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad.
Your name is Killer. It's probably.
I know.
probably not
I
good.
didn't say it made sense. I mean, she was originally a bad guy. Same thing with Icicle, originally a bad guy.
Mhm.
Right. Maybe
Yeah,
her
so
name
this is the exploits of that series. They're not up to the current dinosaur version of Paw Patrol, but it's not a 2D platformer anymore. It's a co-op kind of overhead platformer, so 3D platformer, but it's still level based, so you can get through it with kids pretty easily.
Okay.
I think it's a fine entry in the franchise.
Okay.
Did anyone try the whatchamacallit, the Gears of War tactics? Gears Tactics?
No.
I saw it. I saw it
Yeah.
on my screen and went, is that something new or is that something that's been out for 3 years? I can't
It's
remember.
been out on PC, I believe.
It's been out on PC for
Oh,
a couple of months
okay.
now, and it just came out on consoles. It's I guess
How's it
is.
doing?
I downloaded it, and that's as far as I got. So I mean, turn-based Gears, I guess, is what it is.
Right.
I'm sure it's fine. Again, it's on Game Pass, so I already paid for it, so to speak.
It's also a $30 game, it looks like.
And it's a $30 game. So, and it has an Xbox Series X version.
Which game?
Gears Tactics.
Okay.
What could that possibly mean? You're just going to load faster, right?
You're going to be able to zoom in
High
and see
resolution? Could be.
the testicle outline on Dom.
Great.
Mhm.
What else?
Oh, look at that. Dom's only got one nut.
Don't.
Could be
don't talk
worse.
shit.
Is there anything else on this list? There's a lot of
Yes.
stuff on this list. A lot of remasters.
What about did any? I know Cheapy, you were talking about getting Fuser. Did you get Fuser?
I bought Fuser.
And
It's good. Sorry, I was enjoying that burp. Yeah, Fuser is this is a harmonics game. This is basically a remix of Drop Mix. So they've taken, I mean, very lightly, like it'll remind you a little bit of Drop Mix because they take songs and they break them down to either the drums, the piano, the guitar, the voice, and you're a DJ and you've got to, entertain the crowd by mixing parts of songs together. And it's pretty entertaining. I think that you will enjoy the game more if you like the songs that are available. If you're not too into that, then you probably won't be that into the game. But it's very well done, and it's weird. They have $100 version of the game, and I'm looking at that, and it made me like almost not want to buy the game.
That's what made me not jump on it right now, actually.
Yeah, because I'm saying, all right, this is $100 game. Like I could go on Amazon, and for $250, I could buy like a pretty nice DJ turntable.
That wasn't the direction I was going.
I know.
No,
I
I
know.
wouldn't go in that direction.
I'm sure most people were not, but that's the direction my brain went in. And then I looked and I saw that what you're getting obviously more songs with the $100 version, but you can buy all the songs piecemeal anyway. And I looked at the songs, and a lot of the songs I just really wasn't interested in anyway. So
You mean they were good? Is that the problem?
no, but they're like rock songs or things like I'm not like
So
looking
good
to-
songs.
Whatever, it's a DJ. At the end of the day, this is a DJ game, and I feel like a DJ game should
It's
really
not
focus.
a DJ game. It's a mixing game.
You're a DJ in the game.
You're making mixes.
There's one person in this room who's played the game, and it's this person. You're definitely a DJ. You have turntables, a mixer. You're definitely a DJ. It's if you like music games, rhythm games, you should definitely check this out. I mean, they're rare these days, so you don't have too many options.
Does it just stick to the same formula of like earning 5 stars?
Yeah,
song?
pretty much. They give you,
Okay.
there's like,
Is there like a free play mode where you can make your own mixes?
I'm sure there is.
Well, that
There's
doesn't answer
online
the
mode.
question.
It's a $60 game, like the full price game, so I'm sure it's pretty fleshed out in the modes. I know there's
You used to
online
get a
stuff.
guitar or a DJ controller for that price.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's because when I saw the $100 version, I'm like, there are $100 real DJ controllers that you could buy. But anyway, Fuser's cool. If you like music games, you should check it out. You don't have options really anymore. So
What are you
Fuser is
playing
your
that
option.
on? PC or?
I got it on Xbox. I don't know why. Well, I figured like the only reason I'd get it on PC is if I was going to be streaming it, because it'd be easier to stream. But there's a lot of rules about streaming it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
And the main rule is you can't monetize your channel in any way while you're streaming the game.
But you're terrible at that anyways, so.
Well, right. But you can't even do things like put up a overlay on your screen that says that there's donations happening or anything. You can't acknowledge, you have to change how you stream to stream this game. And I think for a lot of streamers, they're not going to want to do that. And
Nope.
And I think for a game like this, you definitely want to be able to stream it freely. And you can, but you're not going to probably get the big streamers unless they pay them to do it. And there's probably not that much money to pay the big streamers. So I don't know how successful this game is going to be. And certainly that policy is not helping. But I'm sure they'd rather
I think
not
I'm
have.
on this one on the first sale of it.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to happen.
Right.
Yeah, I think I would even pick this game up on sale if there's like a free mixing mode. If I could do like drop mixing
I'm
stuff
sure there is.
without having to
I'd be
take
shocked.
out all that nonsense,
Take
I would
out-
enjoy
oh, the-
that. Yeah, like a boarding card.
Yeah,
Spin,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah. I hear you. All right, so that's Fuser.
Mm-hmm.
Have we played anything else of these new releases?
I don't think there's anything else.
There was
to
that
really talk
13
about.
remake.
Yeah,
Should we
I
talk
heard they
about
changed
that?
the graphic style in it.
Yes, they did.
Wasn't that the whole point of the game? Is that
Right.
it had that cool graphic
cell
style?
shading rather.
Cell shading.
Yeah.
They did away with that and tried to modernize it and do like a 3D, I don't know, 3D kind of almost like Fortnite looking type of graphics.
Why not just remaster the original one in HD or something and
Call it a
call
day?
it a day? Yeah.
Slap an ending on it, maybe?
Something. Throw in some stickers. I don't know.
I like stickers.
I wonder if they did anything with this. I wonder if they screwed up the soundtrack too. That game had a good soundtrack.
Did it? I don't remember. I had a hard time playing that game. It was hard.
I never
think.
played it.
Really?
Yep.
Now's the time.
No, it's not. Clearly isn't.
Right. All right.
And I'm set right now.
We're done with new releases officially.
Yes.
Let's move on to Wombat's fortnightly news.
Yay. Season's almost over.
Of what? For Fortnite?
Fortnite. 19 days to go.
You got it? You got all the tiers?
My goal is to hit level 180.
Right.
I'm currently level 172.
Right.
So I feel like I should hit it. They're doing new weekly stretch goals to kind of help people get over their humps. So tomorrow is the next big round of XP stuff. So we'll see what those challenges are and if it's doable. And then that'll be it. Get that gold Iron Man.
You're still doing the Iron Man, huh?
Iron Man, still the same Marvel season.
I
Gotta
just gave you
get
I gave you
gotta
a
get
victory royale on the stream. Don't worry.
Nice.
I hooked you up.
Yeah. So gold Iron Man, gold
Alright.
Wolverine is my goal, and then I think I'll be good.
All right, hit us with some of these news stories, Wombat.
Sure. So Marvel's Avengers. Speaking of Avengers,
Yes.
Marvel's Avengers, the game by Square Enix.
I heard of it.
Yeah. So apparently, not enough people bought it.
Womp
Because,
womp.
yeah, apparently they lost about $63 million on that game so far.
The
They
whole
really,
strategy on that game was like, we need a certain number of people to be playing this game and to buy this game in order to make
they
more
really
money.
shat the bed on that game. Is really what it comes down to. And it's funny because I listened to the clip. I mean, we had talked about this more than once. It, there's that Venn diagram of people that are into Marvel comic books and that kind of stuff, and there's people that are into games of service. And I don't think those Venn diagrams overlap as much as Square Enix thought they do. I think they overestimated the idea of people that are into this kind of thing or all into this kind of thing. And they lost the idea that there's nuance within genres of interests.
Are you still playing this?
I haven't played it in a while. Not since I got
Uh-oh.
Assassin's Creed. I haven't had to anymore.
So there's
I
been
have
like,
something else.
there's been some like pretty notable flops in games of service lately, like all in a row.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder if
It's a very difficult thing to pull off, and
it's
very
risky
few,
as fuck because like
very few have actually succeeded. Like
Yeah.
very few have actually succeeded. You can count them on one hand, I think. I feel like, unless you're talking about mobile games, but if you're talking about console games of service, you really could count the successes on one hand. You got the biggies like Destiny, Fortnite,
they
Apex.
sold, how many copies did they sell? They sold a lot. They still sold like 6
I
million
thi-
copies or something?
No, I think they were sold 3 million copies.
Total?
I think so. Look, I don't think it was.
Oh
6.
yeah, right here. Implies game cost, but only sold 3 million.
3 million copies. That's now. Do you think that the things that really hurt them were? I mean, they made a lot of mistakes, like the games of service thing, the non-cosmetic gear that literally I still don't know what it does, and I played more of this game than anyone I know. The and then there was the whole PlayStation exclusivity stuff.
Spider-Man's still coming.
Yeah, Spider-Man's still coming for PlayStation owners only.
Hold on.
And I know a lot of people that were planning to play this game on either Xbox or PC that were like, I'm out.
It says they cost, including marketing, which is a big part cost of the game, cost 170 to 190 million dollars to make the game. It's a lot of dollars. Don't you think, like, if they just made a game like Sony's Spider-Man game with Avengers, that could have been more profitable? Well, obviously anything would have been more profitable because they lost so much money. But
Yeah, they could have.
they would sell. Don't you think they would sell like double the amount of copies at least? If it was a
It's gotta be-
20-hour,
It's
let's
got
say
to
it's
be
a
good
20.
still, though.
What's
right?
that?
You can't
It's
just
still-
say,
it still
hey,
needs
we're
to
gonna make
be-
a Spider-Man game,
Yeah.
but we're gonna make with Avengers, because it's not that easy to do that.
No, it's not for sure.
No, and I think
But
with
it's
the
probably cheaper.
Spider-Man game is also more focused already when you say Spider-Man game.
Right.
You're focused on location, you're focused on character.
They focused on Utah for the Avengers. They
Yeah.
could have done that still.
Exactly. So I think you play a game like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and it's this big open world, and you can essentially change your character at any time. Yes, it's male to female, but you're still changing your character. Like that's something you could do there, yet it's still within the same open world storyline, and they could have done something along those lines that might have worked a little bit better.
If we look at like the silver lining for Square Enix here, though, I think what this gives them is a blueprint to make a better game, whether it's Avengers or not. It gets them the footprint of what goes wrong with these games and what we can salvage.
That's an expensive lesson.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
think they wanted to learn that lesson.
And maybe games of service is not the future. Maybe it seems like it's not. It seems very risky.
I don't think it is. I think it's
There's pushback. Clearly there's pushback against this type of game.
there's
Because Avengers
pushback-
is like, I mean, Avengers is pretty popular, like, not as popular
it's
as
the most
Earthquakes, but-
popular license in the world right now. Yes.
And like, if you can't hook people in with that, maybe it's going to be hard to hook people in with anything. Like, and maybe
There's a what is it called? It's called I think like Realm of Champions. It's out in I want to say certain Asian countries, maybe in Europe. It's an iPhone game. I've seen the footage of it. I don't believe it's out in this country yet because I have an alert set up for when it comes out,
Right.
which is a Marvel iPhone game, which I want to play because every time I watch the trailer, what you're doing is literally unlocking pieces of gear for your different heroes, and you're making these weird mix match characters. Like, it's the Hulk, but it's the Hulk with the gladiator helmet and the maestro beard and the purple pants. And to me, that's kind of cool. And the fact that they literally didn't do anything like that for this game, I think I'll stand by it. It still really hurt it. The idea that they're trying to make a loot based game where none of the loot has any real effect, and then they want you to buy the cosmetics. It's like they're two things that are antithetical to each other. Either there's no loot and there's no gear and all cosmetics are nothing but things you buy and you have your game, or you have a game where the loot matters and you're buying DLC.
I don't know that was the issue totally. I think, their economy is not that interesting. I think the bigger issue is that there's no reason to keep playing it.
Yeah, well, because there's nothing, you're not getting that next great thing. You're not getting that next. What's the carrot?
It's the same thing over. Once you get through the story bits, which are the good parts of that game, there's nothing left there that you want to do.
That's what I'm saying. Like Spider-Man was all a good story and stuff. Like
Spider-Man had a good story. It had all those cool costumes in it to unlock, and each costume did something. And then there were all the gadgets to unlock. There was stuff to do and reasons to do it.
They could have done it. They could have done it, and couldn't have been less successful.
Yeah, there's no reason to do it. It's not like you're gonna get at the end. It's not like, oh, finally I got that Thor hammer that I wanted, or I got that helmet, or I got whatever it is, that U.S. agent T-shirt or something cool. They kind of just drop the ball and they're like, well, now you got some green points. You could use those green points to unlock something maybe in like 3 days.
Right.
Yeah, it just didn't. They really screwed that game up. So it boggles my mind. And it's all, baseline greed at the top level, but still.
They thought they could, squeeze the money out. It didn't work.
It did not work.
The other big news is, some people think this is big news. I personally don't, but the Mass Effect Remastered is coming out in the spring. Would you guys be interested in playing through that again, or
is that technically? The first one is not Microsoft. I guess it's all EA, right? Mm-hmm. Technically, is it EA's releasing it?
I would think.
Yeah, so EA access at some point. Can't wait.
Are you gonna play through that again? You might. You're the kind of person who picks this up again. I loved those games, but those are
maybe
in there. I did it.
Maybe it depends. I
did the hell out of that too. Like every inch of that
everything.
Game. Everything that I could probe, I was in there probing.
Nice. I don't know. It's a good question. Like I said, if they were on EA access, would I download the first one? Is that where I would start, or would I go straight to the Mass Effect 2? Maybe straight to Mass Effect 2. I don't know if I'd want to play Mass Effect 1 again and spend 25 hours in the Citadel, talking to people going, what? I got to go here?
Nah, you can't do that again.
Yeah. Oh, what? Okay, I'll go over here and go.
How much quicker will the elevator rides be now, though?
Yeah, that's just it. But then again, is that though? There's but if the elevator rides are only like a second long.
Right. All right. Let's move on. Let's move on to Microsoft and talk about the new Xbox. It only took us an hour and 15 minutes to get there. There it is. I see it.
Tell me about your mini fridges.
I gotta say, I don't know if Shipwreck feels the same way, but when the interface is exactly the same as the green light's going off, when the interface is exactly the same as the current console that you own, it does take away some of the excitement for me, at least. It's nice to know where everything is, but I feel like a lot of that upgrade I feel like the UI was doing a lot of the heavy lifting at a console launch when there's not that many games out and you're looking for things to do on the console. It's like more about exploring where things are and what things look like, and look how this is different than the last console, and oh, they fixed this, but maybe this is worse now, but it's exactly the same. And I'm like, oh, it's exactly like when I got my new computer. I'm like, all right, I got the new graphics card, everything's gonna be so much more powerful. Plug it in. All right, it's Windows, there's desktop. I mean, obviously it's not the same because I didn't have the same files plugged in, but the experience is the same, really, in the user experience in that way.
Right, and it's so, I don't know, boring to set up too, because it's so easy.
You don't have to do anything.
You don't have to do anything to set this thing up.
Right, you plug it in, you go to your phone, you like swipe a couple times, and
right,
then you're like,
"Oh,
okay.
Here's your Xbox.
Right, you plug in your hard drive with all the games on it.
I haven't gotten that far yet.
I did that. They're all there. You just play them. If you have a game that has Series X enhancements, I think you have to move it to the internal hard drive.
Yes.
So
yes, you do.
It's not a fast process. I think I said it took 22 minutes to move 50 gigs.
But Shipwreck told me that it was a fast process.
No, I said it could be a fast process.
He said it was going to be a fast process, and I shouldn't worry about the limited hard drive space.
It should be a fast process.
But it isn't. It takes 20 minutes.
20 minutes for that's for like a game. Like Assassin's Creed is 50 gigs.
That seems really long.
That's a long time. That's too fast. Not fast.
Too fast.
It's not too fast. Make it faster. It should be like a minute.
What drive do you have plugged into it? Is it a 55 or 5400 RPM?
Dude,
drive?
I don't know, man. It's a
I'll do some experimenting and
report back, because right now 20 minutes sounds like, as Cheapy would say, a pretty sweet solution. So because they got to fix their shit.
I could be wrong.
That also is a very large game.
Not good enough. I need faster.
You don't, though. You play the same game for ever, and then you don't play it.
Yeah, then I know it's gonna. There's part of me is like, maybe I'll appreciate having the sort of slimmed down kind of feng shui system of playing games, where it's like, okay, these are my 4. This is the 4. It's on rotation, and then when a new one comes in, we delete and we add.
Yep. And then if you want to play it again, you re-download. It takes I don't know how long it takes to download. Depends, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I've literally had 20 minutes with this new Xbox before this show.
So I'm gonna say, like, when I get mine, if I ever get mine, if I had one today, it would have Fortnite and it would have Assassin's Creed on it, and that would probably be it. And Planet Coaster.
Assassin's Creed's only 40 gigs or 45 gigs.
Nice. So yeah, Assassin's Creed, Fortnite, which I think is only like 23, and yeah, that would be it.
So some of the magic is gone, I feel like, because the interface is the same. I mean,
it's the same interface, but it behaves like you wish the interface would behave.
Correct. I changed my background just to give me some more magic.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I like it when it does that default background thing when you highlight a game in the.
That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm on now. That's what I went to.
I like that. That's cool. That's always fun.
Yep, I'm experiencing for the first time Wombat, so it's brand new to me.
Oh, I'm sure they'll change it at some point. That's my
right. Yeah. Well, something will happen to spice it up. I tried Forza Horizon 4 just to check out the improvement. The loading time is a vast improvement, because I remember that game was very slow to load up, especially initially when you're starting it. Like, it's just like, but it's very snappy now. I don't know what the frame rate difference is. It seems good. It seemed to always seem very good before. Like, I never had any problem. I guess maybe the resolution is higher now, but it looks good, and I don't think I'm going to be playing it more. Like, I'm not looking to go revisit these things and see how they look.
I was going to say the load times on Assassin's Creed on the Xbox One are very long.
Okay.
So how are they? Are they even noticeable on the Series X?
They're good. They're good on the Series X. The problem is, again, we're coming off Ghost of Tsushima that had like no load times, like magic. It was a fucking magical thing. So it's not as fast as that. I can tell you that. So that's the Xbox. I mean, I'm using my Elite 2 controller. It doesn't have a share button on it, so I have no experience with the share button. I think there's probably a way you can map it, maybe like
You
LB.
gotta just use the other controller.
I don't want to. It's
Wow.
not as good as this other controller, so I'm not doing that. But I don't know. We'll have more time with it for next week. Maybe Wombat will even have one by then. But I think it looks good in my home entertainment system, and I actually like that it's high when you put it down horizontally because it hides like the wires and stuff behind it, and all that stuff. So it hides my mess, which is nice.
I am interested to see how much crap gets into those holes that are in the top of this thing, like standing vertically.
Ping pong balls.
Yeah, they're pretty big holes in the top of this thing.
Yep, it needs that airflow.
Well, sure. I'm just surprised just how big the holes are.
You're gonna have to turn it upside down every 3 months to get the
It's,
spiders
like,
out.
That's like I look at my like PC and like, yeah, sure, there's plenty of holes in the top of this thing too,
Yeah,
but it's easy to like get in there and like vacuum out from time to time.
you can see inside. The holes are big. Like you can see.
Yeah, they're big.
Yeah.
It looks like a urinal mat, like it's in a urinal. And
Don't piss on
I'm
it.
not
Don't vape
sure.
it. Don't piss.
Like it wants to be vertical. It's very clear. They have the logo on there vertical.
It looks awkward horizontally.
So I feel like I should have this thing vertical just because that's the way they designed it. Like sure, it theoretically works sideways as well.
Yes.
but
Yes, I hear
they've
you.
designed this thing to sit vertically.
I'm not willing to just put that outside of my entertainment center just to have it go vertically.
I am, because I think what I've come up with is I've got it's a bit messy back here right now, but I think on one side of my projector screen, I can have my Xbox vertical, and then on the other side, I can have the PS5 monolith and not take any, I won't have to take any of my other consoles out. I can just add those to the sides.
Right. Yep. I was thinking about that. I didn't do it. But I did wake up this morning with people telling me about floating the ping pong balls on top of the Xbox fan.
Yeah, of course.
It was bullshit.
You've been unsuccessful.
Is it bullshit, or do you just have special balls?
No, because I saw that the picture was faked. The guy had a little metal stand holding up the ball. And I know I saw a video of it later, but I have a feeling they just had like a hairdryer behind it or something. Because I tried a lot of different kinds of balls. The balls, not only did the balls not fly or float, they didn't move at all. And I even rebooted the console, and I think the fans probably, like if it's like a computer, usually the fans blow up 100% when the thing turns on. They did not even budge. I put 5 balls on at the same time. Didn't move. They got warm. My balls got warm, but they did not move. Clip that. All right. So is that our Series X coverage?
I
think
mean,
for
so
now?
far, I literally have had 20 minutes with it where I just turned it on and set it up.
One thing
I
will
don't
say,
have one.
great box. The unboxing part, like very classy. It seems like they didn't waste a lot of materials. It seemed like environmentally, I'm not sure because I don't know about these things. It seemed environmentally friendly, like wasn't a lot of nonsense in there. You just literally open it up and pull the thing out. Like it was good.
Plug
Good.
it in, turn it on.
It was nice that I didn't watch any unboxing videos because
Yeah, no, I was pleasantly
spoiler-free.
surprised too when I opened it up and like, oh, it's right here.
Yeah,
Okay.
right. I don't have to like dig out all this shit. Like, yeah,
Right.
nicely done. Nicely done. So we don't have anything to say about the PS5 because we don't have them yet. But I was seeing everybody like hyping up the new controller, and it does look very cool with the haptic triggers and all that. But still, no back paddles. You got to have back paddles, I think. And I wonder if Sony's going to put out like a fancier, if they've been waiting for PS5 to put out like their $180 controller like Microsoft. Because I feel like Sony likes making money, and so Microsoft does sell a lot of these fancy controllers. And back paddles are good. I recommend them. Once you start playing with them, you're not going back ever. So that's another reason why I didn't really want to jump on the PS5 launch. But I do want to try the controller. All right. Should we move on? Are we at the CAG bag? I think we're
Sure.
at the CAG
I can
bag.
talk briefly about the Gamer Legends thing, Arcade Legends, arcade game, the at
Oh,
games
yeah,
thing,
your big stick thing.
the big
I
stick
see
thing,
it behind you
right
somewhere.
there.
There it is, right there. The knobs. I see your knobs and trackballs.
I am happy to report that I loaded a bunch of games on that thing, on
Okay.
just a USB stick, and it's fantastic.
Oh wow.
It's I have no reservations recommending that thing at $250.
Really?
Yeah, it's really
Is
good.
it? Would you say it's better than having an arcade cabinet?
Yeah, because you can literally sit it in your lap or on your coffee table. You can take it to somebody else's house.
Play it on
And
the
it
big
feels the feelings all. It feels
screen. It's
right.
good quality.
It feels right. So Dashiell and I played through the two Turtles arcade games. We played through X-Men. We played
That's awesome.
Marvel versus Capcom. We played the Spider-Man arcade game. It all feels.
You should
right.
get that Captain America arcade game. You have that on there, the one with White Vision
Yeah, it's on there as
and
well.
Hawkeye. That's a good
Yep.
one.
Yep.
How
No,
about
they're all
that
good.
co-op? That co-op Superman game where there's
I
two
don't-
Superman.
I don't.
Oh yes, I love that
Yeah.
game.
Yeah,
I
one's
remember-
blue and
Oh,
one's red
oh!
for some reason.
That's the one where you're flying in the levels and you're like laser
Yep.
beam eyes.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's
yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah,
shmup.
yeah.
There's
That's a great
shmup.
game. It's
Yeah.
a great game.
I mean,
I know you need to get that on there. Did you get any trackball games on there?
There
Any-
are some I have not. I played some Golden Tee.
Okay.
I played some
that's
Golden
good.
Tee on it.
How'd that go?
With my father-in-law. It
perfect.
plays Golden Tee just fine.
Great.
Cool.
It's-
No, you
it's-
need to get Arkanoid on there, but yeah.
That's not a trackball game.
No, that's a knob.
Yeah, that's the one downfall of this one that's
No knob.
there's
knob.
no knobs on their big arcade one.
You get a knob.
There's knobs on that one.
There's no knob.
Maybe
You
they'll
can
come out with a
get what's the one? Missile defense.
Missile command.
Missile command. Yeah, you need to get missile command on there. That uses a trackball.
It does.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
I think it's good. I will recommend that one, and that's something to say about at games. All of the crap that they put out, they finally figured out a product that's good.
Nice.
Good.
All right. Let's move on to the CAG bag. We made it. At Peter Muniz writes in and asks, what's everyone's most anticipated game for launch window and or 2021? I got to think it's Cyberpunk for me, but I haven't really bought into any hype or I watched like a couple of videos. That's about it. Like
For me, it was Assassin's Creed, and now I have it. So
your dreams are being powered.
I know all my dreams came true, and I don't know how to handle it.
Right. Except for the Xbox coming.
Yeah, well, these things happen.
Right.
I'm looking forward to Spider-Man. I
You
know
are.
it's only like an 8-hour game, but
You do like Spider-Man.
I do like Spider-Man
I
quite a
know.
bit. I really enjoy the Spider-Man, and also it's one that I feel comfortable playing around my kids as well because
Right.
they like.
Now, did
watching
you
that as
get
well.
the super version with the remastered Spider-Man?
No, I'm never gonna play that Spider-Man again.
I was say, did you ever play the DLC on that? On that one?
I don't think I finished all the DLC, but yes,
Okay.
I played quite a bit of the DLC.
I wasn't sure. I was gonna say because that would be a reason to get the big version, but never mind.
Well, now that I think they announced that they originally when they announced it, they said that you couldn't carry over saves. I think.
Yeah, and then they said today that they're gonna patch that in later.
Yeah, they should have announced that sooner, and then they might have had a sale for me. But going back and replaying that game from the beginning is not something that I'm interested in.
Nope.
Love the game, just not going to go replay it.
Mm-hmm.
What, Spider-Man?
Yeah.
But I think you can bring your file into it, no?
Now you
Not
can.
yet.
Right.
They announced that they're going to make a patch for it, but they
Right,
just
right.
announced that like this week.
Right. Well, that makes sense. Have to. It's good
Well, they
play that
didn't.
whole thing.
I don't think that they
Well,
thought it made sense originally.
I know that's weird to me, but okay. What else we got in the cabinet? Hold on, I got some here from the chat. This one we answered. Okay, here we go. This is from Dr. Monster. He wants to know if you're playing a game and you get to a point where you're stuck, When you think about going back to the game, do you ever just never go back to it and move on to something else? And if there's a game that you got stuck doing that with, what game was that?
I'm sure that's happened in my lifetime.
That one of the Gears of War games, I got to the boss and it was too annoying, and I just didn't play it. 3, 4. What are we on now? 5,
Yes.
4. No, I don't know. It was a big thing at the end. I didn't like.
We're on 5, but there's been at least 6.
Right,
of
it's one of
them.
those things. And I'm trying to think.
And tactics.
Right, there's a lot. Yeah, I mean, these days though, I don't know if that happens so much anymore. I don't think that's happened for a while. But Bayonetta, I stopped playing for like several months, and then I went back and finished it. The stupid missile scene, the missile stage.
That final boss fight in Spider-Man for the Sega Genesis. That's a pain in the ass.
That's a tough one.
That is a tough one. With the timers, if you don't
Right.
do it in time, and everything blows up. So
Right.
it's not even about, fighting. It's about fighting in time.
Right.
I was not a fan of that. I
Right.
don't think I ever
They should
finished
improve
that.
on that at some point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if only they could improve on Spider-Man for the Sega Genesis.
Right.
Now, are you talking about Spider-Man or for the Sega Genesis, or are you talking about Spider-Man for the Sega Genesis?
Spider-Man.
Okay.
Spider-Man, I believe is the one I'm talking about.
They had 2 games, I think, that were called Spider-Man on
Yeah.
the Sega Genesis.
Mm-hmm. So
Oh,
the first one.
The first one, yeah. The first one was not as good as the second one. I can't think of anything recently that I've had a problem where I'm just like, okay, that's enough for this game.
These days, like if you have a problem, you can do research and
You just,
really
you
find
either
out.
just figure it out, do research, or a lot of games just like, okay, maybe I bump it down a difficulty level here.
Back in the Genesis games, you were SOL. You couldn't do it. You didn't have the skill to do it. And you didn't have a friend who knew how to do it.
Right.
And you didn't have money to call the tip hotline. You might have to stop playing for a while. All right, I think that's it. I have to ask the chat before we start reading the end of the show stuff. Do we want to raid the hot DJ, or do we want to raid like dads playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare that only have 2 people watching? I'll leave it. Ask for the chat to get back to me on that. Let's remind everybody to do what? Join the CAG Discord. Discord.gg/CAG. And you could play with Wombat. Some Fortnite, perhaps. Or you could buy him an Xbox. If you have an Xbox Series X sitting around your house, send it over to Wombat's house.
It's good use for an Xbox.
Yes. Follow us on Twitter at GBD, at New Wombat, at Shipwreck, at Video Game Deals. Follow us on Instagram at CAG Deals. And Facebook.com/GBassGamer. Why not?
It's a place you could go.
Did
Did you set up an account on Parlor yet?
I have not.
Oh,
Pretty much
man.
just, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
How else are you going to be able to spout your conspiracy theories about lizard people and just tell everyone about the hottest new game news if you don't have a Parlor account?
Okay. The chat has spoken. We're going to raid the dads. The head dads.
All right. And don't forget to go to HelloFresh.com/CAGcast90 and use code CAGcast90 to get $90 off, including free shipping.
Right. Oh, wait, I'm not ready yet. That's it?
That's it.
We're going to have to type in this guy's name first.
Well, I was going to say, should I say the words?
Well, and I also have to make the bread fly across the stream.
Are you not ready yet? Tell
Okay,
me
I'm
when to
ready.
say-
I'm ready. Hold on. Here comes the bread. There it goes.
And bread's done.
Yay. Hold on. I'm hitting raid now. There we go. 63 viewers. We're there. Bye.